Welcome everybody to the Latiners Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for Drop, the newest suspense thriller from Blumhouse Productions. Of course, we got Christopher Landon directing, who's been with Blumhouse for a little bit, did both Happy Death Days, did a Freaky as well, if I'm not mistaken. This one here is a very simple story, kind of a throwback film to the old school kind of suspense thrillers. She got this young woman who has a very traumatic past with her ex-husband. And after a few years, she's finally ready to go out there and start dating. And I guess she finally goes on the first date with some guy she's been talking to for a few months. They go to a very nice restaurant, kind of a great view in Chicago. And of course, this turns into date from hell. Not because of the guy that she's going out with, it's because apparently someone is making her do things against her will. It's why she's at the restaurant waiting for the guy. I guess she gets a drop from this app, they call it Giggy Drop, something like that in the movie. But basically, so someone inside the restaurant's communicating with her, and at first she ignores it, and of course until she can't ignore it anymore because she kind of making known that there's someone else at her house waiting to kill her son and of course his sister who's taking babysitting at the time, unless she completes a series of tasks. And now it's kind of becomes a kind of a whodunit, right? She knows it's someone inside the place, and now she's trying to figure out who it is, and there's a lot of rules she must follow and toe the line or her son's gonna get whacked essentially, right? So it's a very interesting premise. I like the idea, very Hitchcockian, if you will, for those who are actually familiar with Hitchcock films. And this one overall, I was looking forward to this one. I've heard some good things about it, and overall it was alright. It was fine. Nothing to really write home about. Not one I'm telling you guys go rush into theaters. I mean, it's very stylized, and I like the style that he uses here. Some of the presentation with the text instead of just showing us the phone with the text, how he does that, and when she's trying to single out who the suspects may be around the restaurant. I like how they present that. That's really well done. I like her. I like both characters and the date that she's on. They both have kind of share a little traumatic experiences together, and then kind of really clicking to some degree, I guess, as much as you can, because she is clearly distracted by the events going around her. But there's some good moments of suspense here, some thrills. I thought the reveal was a little bit predictable, a little bit anticlimactic for my taste, and you do kind of have to suspend your disbelief throughout the film, but whatever, it's not the end of the world. Ultimately, I was entertained for the most part. It was some good moments of suspense. It was just the right length, about an hour and a half, no more, no less. I think that was a really right length for this film. So although there was still some pacing issues that kind of took a little bit to get going, and I thought there's moments in there when they're interacting in the date that it probably was unnecessary, but fair enough. But that said, I enjoyed it. It's not great. It's not one I'm go rush out to theaters and watch, but it's definitely one where I say, listen, if you're not going to go to movies and see this, you can definitely catch it at home. No doubt. It's an easy flick to see at home. It's an hour and a half, and you're going to be entertained by it. But it's one of the ones you probably watch, and about 2 weeks later, maybe even sooner, you kind of pretty much going to forget about it, right? It's very fly by numbers. And paint by numbers, sorry, as far as what's going on, and after a while, like, okay, you're really expecting something big, and it really wasn't that. And it was kind of like, really, it was about that. I don't want to spoil, obviously, whatever. So again, the review was a little bit, there leaves a lot to be desired for in terms of impact, but ultimately the journey to that point was good enough. That you really kind of did a good job of giving a lot of red herrings and who could it be in the restaurant, what's going on, and the ways of which how he knows every move she's making, because she literally can't do anything because he sees and hears it all, right? So cameras, or it's bugged, whatever the case is, or someone's in the restaurant, could be some of the other customers, who knows, right? And that's what makes the film entertaining and engaging for the most part. But ultimately, it doesn't reach great heights, but it doesn't mean it's not worth watching at some point, either in the theater or at home. So Drop, if you guys watch it, comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.